Punch has been a blockbuster success for Tata Motors. Over 6 lakh units sold in its first iteration, catapulting it to the best seller in the country. The formula of an SUV styling, a healthy deck of features and a host of engine options worked really well for the car. And with the facelift, Tata Motors is amplifying that concoction, adding more features, the convenience of a CNG plus AMT, and more power with a turbo petrol. On paper, this formula works. It ticks all the right boxes. But does it deliver on the road? Let's find out.
The Punch looks more mature, like a youngster entering adolescence. The LED DRLs are now complemented by new LED headlamps and fog lights, and the bumper gets additional elements for more character. The new piano black finished three-dimensional grille is like a bow tie on a tuxedo. The profile remains unchanged, safe for the new and stylish alloy wheels, while the rear gets a roof-mounted spoiler, a revised bumper, and new connected taillights. The SUV stance remains commanding, and the overall length is now up by 49mm owing to the changes.
The interior does not get a wealth of upgrades, but the ones that you do see here make a big difference. First up, there's a new 2-spoke steering wheel with that illuminated Tata logo, something we've seen on other Tata cars as well. The 10.25-inch screen in terms of size is the same, but this is an all-new unit. Much crisper, much nicer, better graphics, and overall much nicer to use as well. There's a new digital console, and that relays more information than before and more seamlessly packaged as well. But that's not all. The touch panel that you see here has been again carried over from other Tata cars. And while I'm not a big fan of it, it does give you access to a lot of features, including the 360-degree camera, the CNG mode in the Tata CNG version, and of course climate control. The dashboard itself is the same by and large, but you do get this new texture, and the white color essentially denotes mountains and goes with the whole SUV vibe of the Tata Punch. And finally, the upholstery is all new. I really like this, adds a nice and fresh look to the cabin, also the sense of roominess. And adding that extra layer of comfort is the extended thigh support that you get on the upper variants of the Tata Punch. And the seats itself are quite comfortable, hug you nicely, and this one only elevates that overall comfort experience.
The feature stack now includes a 360-degree camera, auto-dimming IRVM, a 65-watt Type-C charging port, and voice command functions. There's a new blind spot monitor too, but the camera placement feels too low for a clearer view of the road. Other features include the single-pane electric sunroof, ambient lighting, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging, IRA connected tech, and lots more.
Now the wheelbase hasn't changed on the Tata Punch facelift, which means that the rear space is still the same. You do not get a lot of space. This is a compact space for a tall passenger like me, but 3 average size adults will be able to fit here as well. You get a center armrest, so things are slightly more comfortable like that, and you get 3-point seat belts for all passengers and adjustable headrests for the rear passengers as well. You do not get one for the center passenger, which is a bummer. But if you talk about the overall leg room, I think this is just a squeeze for tall people, and the headroom is just right as well. That is something that I like. In addition to that, you have rear AC vents for passengers and a Type-C USB charging port that should make things a lot more easier. The nearly flat floorboard also makes things a lot more comfortable, and the 90-degree opening door definitely makes ingress and egress a lot seamless.
The existing engine options have been carried over, but you now get a CNG and AMT combination, as well as an all-new turbo petrol engine.
What worked with the Punch CNG in the first version was the fact that it was available in the top variants as well, with all the bells and whistles, and got the twin-cylinder technology, liberating more boot capacity in the car. With this iteration, the facelift adds a little bit of more in everything. The features are more same as the petrol version. The boot capacity is very much there, but you now get an AMT, an automated manual transmission as well, bringing more convenience to buyers. You saw on the Tiago very recently, and I think it was but obvious that the Punch, which is the more popular selling car, would get it as well. And to be fair, this is a proper city car, and the combination works. I really like driving it on the Tiago CNG AMT as well, and I think it's just a natural extension when it comes to the Punch as well. The thing that works for me is just the sheer convenience it brings to the car in terms of in-city driving. Most people who are getting the CNG version are driving it within the city itself and were craving for a more convenient option without missing out on the efficiency that the CNG provides. In terms of the driving experience, I think the two things that stand out is that the acceleration has lag. I think that's a CNG trait that you cannot kind of miss out on. And with the AMT gearbox, it is kind of amplifies in terms of just how power delivery works. The acceleration is slow, it is a bit laggy, and well, this also makes lesser power. So about 72 brake horsepower is what the CNG version makes, and that is a trade-off you make when compared to the regular petrol and now the turbo petrol versions as well. But you also have the convenience in place of not wanting to change gears. You also get paddle shifters, so there is a sense of control that you can get. But yes, it does not make a world of a difference in terms of the whole driving experience. The gear shifts itself are laggy, especially when you want to go fast or during overtakes. You will have to plan that quite a bit.
While the CNG AMT combination may seem tame, the new turbo petrol promises to be the exact opposite. A lot more fun.
This is a brand new engine for the Punch, the 1.2 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol. It's from the Nexon and is paired with a 6-speed gearbox. Now, outside of the turbo badge on the tailgate and the temperature gauge instead of the CNG range, there is nothing really different about this version of the car. It's almost identical. The top features remain the same, so none of that changes with the turbo version. Of course, what changes here is the engine that now makes 118 brake horsepower, 170 Nm of peak torque, paired with a 6-speed gearbox. Mind you, this is a 1100 kilo SUV, so the power to weight ratio is just incredible. Acceleration is fantastic, and it has the energy of an eager bunny to wanting to push itself no matter where you are. So off a red light, on a highway, doesn't matter, this will go fast, and I really like that about the car.
That said, the letdown comes from the gearbox calibration, which has long throws. The bite point of the clutch makes it jerky, especially in bumper-to-bumper traffic. The Punch effortlessly glides through pothole-ridden roads. The suspension is one of the best in small cars. The steering weighs up nicely at high speeds, but remains neutral for the most part. Braking is decent, but the bite at the pedal could be sharper. The Punch Facelift is a 5-star rated offering with 6 airbags, ABS, ESP, 3-point seat belts, and a tire pressure monitoring system as standard. It uses high-strength steel in its construction, making it one of the safest cars in the mass market space. And don't go by its size. The Punch is formidable in conquering off-road trails too.
There's a naturally aspirated engine now. There's a CNG AMT, and of course there is the EV as well. So more powertrain options with the Punch, and I think that will now just widen its appeal to a lot of customers across the board. So there is of course the older customer that will like the CNG and the AMT in general, and there is a very young and promising customer which will like this car in particular. I really enjoy driving it, but at the same time I do think that this could be a better package overall. There is ample scope of improvement on the car, which I think can be corrected over the course of time.
The 2026 Tata Punch looks fresh, gets a feature-packed cabin, and the choice of a variety of engines, widening its appeal. It is better equipped to take on the Hyundai Exter and Maruti Suzuki Ignis, as well as the turbocharged versions of the Citroën C3 in the segment. The pricing also makes it one of the more accessible turbo petrol cars on sale, and it is now encroaching the territory occupied by lower variants of subcompact SUVs. There are caveats, of course. The mechanicals have a clunky feel, quality remains inconsistent, and the electronics can be a hit or a miss. But there's now enough arsenal to fight for the top spot, and the fight is only set to get fierce.